Let me tell you why I fully support boycotting nail salons, particularly the Asian owned ones. Now, I lived in Mexico for over a year, and coming back to the United States, I didn't want to pay these prices, but I decided to give it a try. I ended up walking out, and no, I did not pay. Yes, the cops called me. No, I didn't answer the phone. But let me tell you, the Asian lady, the owner, told me that I needed to respect my elders, but sided with her employee that was doing my nails, who was not doing a good job, calling me a bitch. She was okay with that.
You say boycott what? Yeah, y'all missing out.
But I just saw somebody said something that really has my mind blown. She said that she stopped doing business with the Asian community because she has never seen them supporting each other. Have you ever been in an Asian salon and seen an Asian woman doing her nails? Think about it. It's always black and white women. Think about it, man. Think about it. Have you ever seen an Asian woman sitting down in any one of those chairs getting her nails done? Never. I've never seen it. Make that make sense. Why, Asian ladies? Why y'all don't go to those salons?
How is that racist if the reason that you're doing so is because you've been disrespected and mistreated at those places? So if you've been patronizing a place and then they're mistreating you, it's not racist to stop doing that. And also, it's delusional to think that people of certain groups do not give preference to people within their own group. It's common amongst every group. There's Chinatown. There's in many cities, there's small Hispanic communities where they support each other. But only when you have black people wanting to support other black businesses does it ever become.
If I was ever disrespected at any store, regardless of ethnicity, I would never go back there. I would also personally boycott them myself. Everyone has their way of dealing with things. I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you want to boycott a store, because I personally wouldn't put up with that. I'm saying it's just not right to boycott all the Asian stores based off experiences that you've had in certain Asian stores.
Nail salons are empty everywhere. Let me say that again. Nail salons are empty everywhere. Well, maybe not in Alaska or North Dakota, but from Atlanta to Los Angeles, nail salons are empty where black people frequent because they said they're not putting up with the disrespect no mo. They said that Rick Chow was the last straw. But you know what I have to say? How did it even get to Rick Chow? You already knew what it was, right? You already knew how you were treated before, and you still kept going. Well, I'm broke, so I haven't been going regardless. If you feel me on that one, make sure you like this video. But nail salons are empty. They are dry because black people are saying that they don't want to support Asian-owned businesses in the United States. And Asian people are mad because Asian people are saying we are different nationalities and we don't have anything to do with Rick Chow. And why are you going to boycott every Asian business in America when some of us are from different countries? Can you not decipher who's Korean, who's Vietnamese, who's Thai, who's Filipino? That might be a really good point. However, black people are saying, we don't care if you're Korean. We don't care if you're Chinese, Japanese, Thai. We don't care at all. We're going to stop. They're saying no more fried rice. They're saying no more teriyaki chicken. They're saying no more sweet and sour. So I know I got a lot of you guys fired up right now. So, this is my personal take on it. I don't even think from the Black American perspective, most of them, that are taking this position, if you feel like that when you go to an Asian owned business, like a nail salon or a foot reflexology, a massage, a restaurant, or any type of business that's owned by an Asian person, if you feel like you're being followed, accused of stealing, disrespected in any way, if you truly believe that, you should stop supporting that business immediately. It shouldn't take for some kid to be followed outside of a store and, he said, she said, but only one person's alive to say their side of the story. It shouldn't even take to that for you to decide that you want to boycott something. And this goes for everybody, not just Black people, especially when you go to a small business. If you walk into an Italian bodega, if you walk into an Italian, business, or you walk into whatever type of business, it doesn't even have to do with racial lines. You go into anyone's small business and they treat you with disrespect, do not buy anything from them, just leave. They're going to eventually go out of business if they keep treating people bad, but you can't keep giving somebody your money that you feel, that you truly believe is treating you in a different manner that is not acceptable. And I don't understand for some Black people that feel that they are mistreated when they go to nail salons, not saying that it's a lie, because, when I was growing up, I have friends of different races. And I don't even understand. I'm not saying that some people are barely getting it, but it seems like some adults that it's taking people into their 40s and 50s to understand how some people, let's say, for example, the nail salons, how they start talking in their language and start talking about people. Like, I already knew that when I was like a teenager or whenever I first started getting my nails done. This doesn't even have anything to do with Black people. They do this to everybody. And there's even videos in TikTok and different social media platforms where there's people of all different types of races saying that when they have went to nail salons. And again, obviously not all of them, some people that work at certain nail salons maybe didn't provide good customer service, or, I have seen this time and time again, not one incident, not two incidents, but it is not, it's not unbelievable, and it's not rare that when you go to a nail salon and maybe you did something that pissed them off, or I don't know, maybe the customer asked them to do this and they don't want to really do it, and then they switch to their language and start, you can tell when somebody's angry, because when they switch to their language, their voice goes up and they say something in their language to another worker in there. And then, like, think about it, like, from the customer standpoint, you're sitting there like in the pedicure chair and they said something about you, but you don't know what it is. So you can't really get like all angry, but these are the type of things that could happen. Let's just say specifically at the nail salon. And of course, on the other hand, there are going to be Asian people saying, I am not racist. I have nothing to do with Rick Chow, what happened in South Carolina. And you know what? That is actually true. You may not be racist, but I'm of the belief that everybody's racist. And even if they're not racist, they could be sexist, they could be other things. I'm not going to go through all of them, but most of us have some type of prejudices. It could be against all different types of groups, religious groups, genders, political affiliations. Let's just be real. However, this is the bottom line at the end of the day. This goes for everybody listening. You don't have to be Black to do this. This is my opinion. If you go to a small business, or any business for that matter, and you believe that you were disrespected, you were mistreated, stop giving that business your money. That's the bottom line. If you keep giving somebody your money because for whatever the reason, then you have to you're basically letting them know that you're okay with how you're being treated. I mean, this is 2026, especially if you live in a big city. You live in Atlanta, you live in Houston, you live in Dallas, Phoenix, LA, Seattle, Minneapolis, Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York. You have options. So you get disrespected at a restaurant, you get disrespected at a gym, you get disrespected at a massage parlor, anywhere, a gas station. Don't go back there and pump gas. Don't go, back to that restaurant. Don't go back to that store. That is my position on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Nail salons are getting empty. And here's another last point I'm going to make. Honestly, with the amount of videos I see people on TikTok, YouTube, and all these different social media platforms, if everyone, now quotation marks, I know it's not everyone, if everybody is broke and struggling, do you really need to spend anywhere from maybe the low end $70, $80 upwards of a couple hundred to get your nails and your toes done? I mean, if you're broke and struggling, you might want to consider cutting out expenses that may or may not be that necessary. And this is not an attack towards Asians, but just in general, do you really need that massage? Do you need, you might need a haircut, but you get what I'm saying. We might need to look at ourselves where we're spending our money and see where we are cutting back, see where we need to cut back. So let me know what you guys think about my points. Are Black people justified? Are Black Americans justified if they say that they do not want to spend money at Asian-owned businesses in the United States anymore or indefinitely? I don't know if it's forever or if it's just, temporary. And do Asian people in America have the right to be mad that Black people want to cut funding for their businesses? And there's one more side. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. There is one more side. There are some Asians who are saying, Black people are very disrespectful at their businesses. They say that they don't need Black people's money. So I think that some of the Asian people that are saying that, if they do have a business, maybe it's not in an area where Black people go. So they might be justified in saying that because their business is not located where there is a lot of Black people. But the Asian people that have businesses in areas that are heavily Black or have a good percentage of Black people spending money there, I'm quite sure that if you got a business and 50% of your customers are Black, you're probably not going to be saying that. If you lost 50% of your business, or even if you even lose like 20%, things are not going to end up too good for you. That goes for any business. So let me know what you guys think about all of this. Are you with, do you stand with Black Americans and their opinion? Do you stand with Asian Americans and their opinion? Or do you think the whole thing is just a bunch of drama? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Catch you guys on the next one.